Gosh, hello. Welcome to season 6, episode 4 of the vlog. We love a little epilogue, prologue, explanation, don't we? This week was tiring because I went back to school this week trying to do a degree, because I'm still doing a degree. Who always forgets doing a degree? This bitch. Trying to do a degree, vlog, do YouTube at the same time. It's a lot of work and it can just be very tiring, especially when what you do involves putting an effort into yourself to then be on camera. That can be a big mental block, and it took me 3 weeks to decide I'm gonna pull myself, visually at least, together for a hot second. So I bring you some narration for this episode because otherwise it makes no sense. I realised that I just used to do this with old season episodes, and then I would just put out a video that didn't make sense to anybody but me. We've got past that, we're grown now. So this Monday was literally just lectures. It was a production design lecture, mainly focusing on the fact that this term we're shooting in black and white. I'm production designing, so this is extra important for me. You just can't see my model over there. So it's just a lecture. The main takeaway was you might have colours that contrast really well, and this, you can see this really well with this clip actually. Just because the colours contrast well doesn't mean the tones do. So that was that.
Hello, good Tuesday. I literally filmed nothing yesterday. I was supposed to have class all day, and then halfway through at school, apparently like the internet stopped working. It stopped working in the entire area. So they just couldn't give us the rest of our lessons. I was gonna give you memos at the beginning of each week, wasn't I? Of like what each week is like supposed to be. I'm back at school, yay, because I'm about 5 years old. Yeah, I'm exactly halfway through my degree now. We have loads of lectures, we have loads of lessons. Oh my god, I have class. I gotta go back to class. Everyone's always just how confused. Yes, this is a 2-year MA. I've done a taught year of it. So yeah, there's 3 more taught terms, and then it's whenever you finish your grad film. Once you basically have to do things to qualify to finish your grad film. Once you do, then you're out into the real world. Well, you're kind of set off into the real world. Anyway, coffee? I got coffee. What did my mum get? Mum always orders the coffee, so I never wrote that. It's a surprise. The things that really matter is that the caramel are the best ones. This is called caramel creme brulee, and then the vanilla ones, which are vanilla eclair, which I hide so that my family don't accidentally take my ones. Because I don't know, so I don't like the other ones. I just prefer these ones. There we are. This week is just learning stuff and doing floor plans. Dropping off film because I want to get my film developed. It's like the best delayed dopamine rush. That's what's going on. Incredible. I'm making myself a cup of coffee, doing some editing, some work, and then I'm gonna go see one of my friends who I haven't seen forever. Ever. Later. Still good weather, and I think it's meant to thunderstorm later this week, so that would be grand. Hello and welcome to our wine rack. I'm having dinner with a friend, very exciting. She's got like a white fish, so bottle of white it is. I don't want to know if this goes with white fish or not. What is it? It's a white Bordeaux. That should be fine. It's one of the Berry Bros ones. You can get like a mixed case of like red and white. The good ordinary. This just says white. It's a Bordeaux, and then the red that they have is a claret. They're nice. I think this is just a bit heavy. It needs to breathe before you try and drink it. Oh, my rack is looking very nice at the moment. I've hidden many bottles. I always hide the rum because the rum is otherwise is always gone, and I've got big old. Oh, from last time it was really good weather. It was like a stint of really good weather in like what, April. We couldn't find pins anywhere, so I have a massive bottle that we just haven't even cracked open. It's because we've gone through so much Aperol. This is like our drink of choice at the moment. It's just, it makes your Prosecco taste like gummy bears. So drink responsibly, please don't demonetize me. I am over the age of 21. I'm 23. Ooh, yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get up from being on my knees in front of the wine rack. I have an update. Still also had this bottle of rosé from the other day. I was meant to drink it with my other friends, but I'll just buy it. Yeah, so the wonderful news, I get a text message from one of my friends being like, NHS website is letting under 25s book their vaccines.
So I did. I booked both of mine, which is so exciting. They're only 8 weeks apart as well, which is quite good. It's very exciting because there's starting to be a new third wave in the UK. Great. So they're trying to rush as much of the vaccine program as they could now, which I'm kind of surprised. I'm like, shouldn't you have been doing this the entire time? We believe in science over here. So excited to get vaccinated. So excited to drink this wine. So excited to see my friends. I haven't seen this friend in like 3 weeks. I can't do it anymore. I'm like, I need to see my friends multiple times a week. And it's still really, really hot in here. And I turned the fan off so you could hear me speak, but it's very, very, very warm. And I've realised it clearly is summer because look, got a bug bite there, got one there. It's very, very unpleasant. And Mr. Consistent is back in the vlog.
I'm not gonna be very consistent this year.
I know, it's quite, Mum is being Queen Consistent instead, but it's nice that it's nice that you're here. Hello.
I'll be gone in a week.
No! So it turns out it was actually quicker to walk to my friend's house than to get the tube or the bus or something, so here we are. Go on. From the wine. Show me your skills.
And then
Welcome to season 6, baby!
And then watch this go really, really bad. Typical.
And are you excited for season 6 as well?
I am very, very excited for season 6.
Excellent. Whee! Yes. Oh, the skill. In the box. So, first of all, I'm hungover. And a wine hangover is awful, and it's true. Your hangovers get much worse as you get older. So, what's in the box? Very Low Society reached out to me, very lovely of them, and were like, hey, we hear you like Montagna. Can we send you a copy? And I was like, I'll do a book haul when I've assembled lots of books. Got quite a few books. I've been buying a lot of books, I don't know if you noticed. What do you mean? Oh, that's nice. Oh my god, tote bag. Oh, this is sick. Emma, look at the book, that's more interesting. Little book gremlin. God, what like depths has this little book gremlin crawled out of? So Foley did send me this. Thank you. What? It's not an ad, but thank you. Whoa. No way. What? Whoa. What? It's fucking gorgeous. This is just a really, really pretty edition of a selection of Montagne's essays. It is beautiful. I feel like I'm not allowed to draw in this one, am I? No. What? This is arguably, not even arguably, this is like the nicest edition of anything that I own. I have to go to class, but what? And thank you for the notebook and the tote bag. I'm definitely gonna, this is huge. Okay, I really need to go to class. I'm still really hungry. I don't want to go. If they make me lift any heavy boxes, which they will because it's film school, I'm gonna cry. Ugh. I am never drinking again. Anyway, look at my outfit. Woo! I feel like that girl, you know? Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is not very well exposed, but the sidelight is very nice. Ooh. I love my degree, but I desperately do not want to go to this class.
There are so many stairs. I have so many stairs.
And again, back to class. This was a lighting class, kind of like a kit class. At the beginning of every term, we just get rehashed in what kit we're gonna have for that forthcoming term. So they show you, you know, what do you have, what are your options, what can you do with it? Because every term we have slightly different kit and slightly more advanced kit, should we say. You start learning on the old stuff and then you just get to the newer, more shinier things as you progress throughout the school. So each term, have new stuff to play with. That's what this was. And then with my brothers, we went rock climbing because my little brother was here for the week, which was, he's 6'4", but he's just the baby and will always be the baby. And he's watching this because he always skips to the bit of him in. So here you go, here are some bits with you in it. Actually, side note, so my siblings, because they're so wonderful to me, they managed, my eyes literally twitching as I tell you this, climbing is my thing, bouldering is my thing. And so they managed to only film me when I was doing shit. They didn't film me once when I was doing well, or like scale the wall, like nobody's business, and was like, vroom up, did some cool shit. No, they only filmed it when I couldn't do it. It is a joy to have mine.
Oh, you can stay in his little box.
He's very happy.
Stay in his little box.
Enclosed space.
Go away.
No, I
Exit for West Hill Club.
You're like the shittiest Spider-Man ever.
Yeah, I climbed down. It's gonna be a great video of Emma just standing. The thing is that if I film vertical, I can see how far from the ground you're not. Be less front.
You suck. There's some very nice underpants you got there, Adam. Yeah, you can. Do it for the vlog?
Say when?
When? It's just, look how long Adam is. Just, it's so long. Just so long. Is this where you start, Chloe? See it? I really want to live in that. That would genuinely be one of my ideals. The kitchen in the conservatory, I'd fill it with plants. It'd be amazing. Dream house.
coincided this with picking up my prints, which I will now bloody show you, because otherwise I'm never going to. So, hold up. Whew, I need new ones of these. These are from Paper Chase. These are like big books, they're quite good. As you know, I catalogue and organise everything like an absolute maniac because... Hi! I have to say, I'm actually quite pleased with a lot of these. So I have a roll of colour film from first lockdown, which I didn't think I had. And then I have a roll of black and white, which is mainly portraits of my friends and stuff, which is my main interest, I guess. I think street photography is cool. I think it's fine. If you want to take pictures of, you know, angular pictures of buildings and stuff, you do you, boo. But it's not my vibe. Let me just explain a couple of my favourite pictures also. So when I first got some of these prints back, and I went to pick them up, then I went straight to school. I got to school early, so I was like waiting outside before going in the building. A couple of my friends were there. And then like half the cinematography department comes out to have their break. So I'm like going through my pictures when like a bunch of my like camera tutors stood around me, and I'm just there like, one of my favourite tutors was literally, I was like flipping through them and he was like, that's shit, that's terrible, that's okay. And I'm just gonna point to them and tell you that this door, I was quite pleased with this door. I like the way the light is, it's so soft, bit overexposed in the corner, but we're not gonna talk about that. We love some action shots of my siblings being themselves. This shot of the Aga with the socks, it's just like the most domestic thing ever, and that's quite fond of this. And also, it's just very soft, and soft in terms of lighting, not in terms of focus. I guess that lockdown time is something we all completely forgot, right? Like, I did not know I had a roll of film from this, and part of me like doesn't remember most of these moments, just because so much of it was every single day on repeat. So I think it was like, my memo was like, okay, just enjoy some of these moments because they're all gonna blur into each other. We had a barbecue, we had some nice time, we had a barbecue. Look at I'm gonna blur her face out, but I promise you the lighting on my mum's face is excellent, even if it's a bit blown out, but that's not the point. Do you guys remember when I dyed Adam's hair blonde? That was fun. Oh, look at his little face. I like this one of Louis as well, and the one of Adam's like shadow of his hair. I thought that was artsy. This one of my mum, I'm again very pleased with it. This one of my mum and my brother, I'm just like, wish. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this could have been better in terms of exposure. The exposure is correct for the outside, not for them under. We're under some shade, so I fucked that up. This one of Louis is really nice. There's another one that I won't show you where he's like halfway through like blinking. That's the one thing on film, if somebody blinks while you're taking a photo. And this one of my friend Anna, she is fucking gorgeous, and she took this one of me. I was quite pleased with. This is them all already back in London after that first lockdown. So I have no film photos from the end of lockdown in 2020. So I have no photos until, yeah, the end of lockdown. So I didn't shoot film for a very long time. And all of this is on a 50mm lens for 35mm. A 50mm lens on 35mm is not the same as a 50mm lens on 60mm. I can't remember if this suddenly becomes a 100mm lens or it's a 25mm lens. Some. Bless you. This picture of this dog I don't remember taking, but I asked my friend who would have taken it, and she was like, it wasn't me. So I was like, alright. Don't remember that. I love this picture of me and my friend. Mainly because she always blinks in photos. So getting one of her, especially on film where she's not blinking, it takes skill. When you're shooting on film, and just when you're taking photos in general, it pays off to know which of your friends and family blink a lot. My dad is notorious for this. My father will blink in every single picture. There are so many of him just like this. Pay attention to it, watch their eyes, not anyone else's, watch their eyes. Let them blink, then take the photo. If their eyes are open, don't take it yet. Wait, watch them blink, and once they've blinked, then take the photo. That's usually, it's a fine art. It's a fine art. I have these other two of her that I'm not going to show you, but it's basically the same photo, but on one of them she's blinking and on one of them she's not. You just have to, it's an art. It's an art. Just take an index in your brain of who your blinkers are. Oh, this is a picture of my friend John from his birthday. It's just nice, but like, with this camera as well, my Canon T70, it does very well in low light. Whenever you're shooting in really low light, you'll get used to it. You'll get a good gauge for like what like f-stop it is. If you're in the shadows, usually it's a 4. If you're indoors, assume it's a 1, a 1.4, max 2.8, or something you won't get any exposure on. And if you're doing that, you know, play with the stops and play with the ISO of your camera. You can tell it that it's a different ISO than it is, and then it might expose properly. Maybe if you're shooting on 400, it's when you like push the film. If you change it to 200, then I think you can get exposure. Maybe. I haven't tried it, so I'll have to see. But then whenever you're shooting in lower light conditions, you will get blur. Put your camera down on something. I've experimented with this. I've taken a picture of some friends in low light. One of them I just took normally. The other I rested my camera on a wine glass and then did it. So then it's basically about like the planes of movement. Think about it this way, they're moving and you're moving. So if you can eliminate one like movement, then you'll have less. Half the potential for like motion blur. I've taken some of my best like night exposures, should we say, by just putting my camera on a ledge or a step or a wall, and then it does do the thing. But a lot of it with film, it's always hit and miss. I take a lot of pictures out of my window, so I have like a little series, and then here's a couple of accounts. I've accumulated like a best of now. I can also do, let's talk about this picture, this is me. I can also now do a photo series of when I've basically asked my friends, do you want to have a go? Or when they're like, please can I try? Yeah, no matter how many times I explain the focus. No matter how many times, no matter how many times, no matter how many times. It's a process. The rest of these pictures are like, they're good, very interesting to me because of my friends and family, but a lot of them, they're just indoor photos of my friends in basically low light. So a lot of it is at night, inside, with not very much lighting. And as you can imagine, those photos aren't particularly successful, but it's a learning curve. And then also just look at this picture of my friend. Look at this picture of my friend. Look how happy she looks. Her mother requested, her mother put in a request to be like, can she have this picture in a slightly bigger copy? So I've done that for her because I'm just so talented. And this you're never seeing these photos. This is a roll of 35mm that is a disposable that is deeply questionable at best. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, bad decisions have been made. But there we are, that's my more recent roll of film. I put some of my favourite ones on my Insta, at Sarcastic Fish, you can come say hi. But I generally don't share my film photos that much because they're mine. And mostly them of my friends and family. It's kind of funny as well though, I keep seeing like people's Instagrams or like shots people sometimes film in their like vlogs and stuff, and all I can think is like, this looks really shitty the way you've like filmed it now. Or not necessarily shitty, it's more that it would look so beautiful on film. There are so many pictures that just look so beautiful on film. And it's almost a shame that they got taken on an iPhone or taken on most YouTubers film on like a Canon G7X. It's a fine camera for vlogging, it's very convenient, but it's not as beautiful as some other cameras can be, and like the way some cameras, especially film, especially on my 50mm lens, like the qualities of the light, it's dead gorgeous. And sometimes you see a picture that you know would have been so pretty on a certain kind of camera and you're like, oh, like it pains me. So I encourage you, as I always do, you know, give film a go. Disposable cameras are the gold standard for a drunk night out. It's flash, so usually as long as you turn the flash on, it will expose. People are so happy to take a film photo, and you get people react differently. People look different on film than they will do if you like, think about it this way. If you're like, take a disposable, people are a lot more freer with who they are. They know you have one shot, and they know that you can't go through the camera roll and they can't judge themselves and look at themselves and be like, I hate this picture, I hate this one, this one's okay. You can't do that. You don't have a million shots, which means that you just have to go for it. And I think it's a lot easier to take pictures of people, to take good pictures of people where they look natural, where they look themselves when you're doing it on film. When you take an iPhone photo, when you take a photo of someone on your phone, the implication is often to post it on social media. That's not really always the case when you shoot film. And I think my friends are aware of that. Even just as like an exercise to you, just take some pictures that you think are banging without the intention of putting it on social media. Just because it's a good photo doesn't mean you have to post it. Try and take photos and stuff without that pressure. Try and take photos of other people without that pressure. Take photos of yourself without that pressure. it doesn't always need to be your best work to present to the world. Yeah, just try and take some photos without that intention, and I feel like that is what film carries through, not just for me, but for also the person I'm probably taking a photo of. Disposable and drunk nights out. Also, because then you can't accidentally post a bunch of stuff to your Instagram story and regret it the next day. Speaking of somebody who has done that multiple times in the past, take a film camera. There's an insurance policy with it. You're not going to post anything stupid, and people just act free because they know it's kind of just for you guys, rather than for the rest of the world. Hello? 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 Shoot film.
I have been in lectures and done research and stuff all day, and Adam has barely been into Fluke. He's in the Fluke. His hair is really floofy. He's in the Fluke. We went to see Adam in his like uni town a little bit ago. Shall I include the footage here?
Go ahead, then.
Roll footage.
But this only needs a little. What's that? Well, you forgot the butter.
I reckon I'll order an Uber now.
Yeah, honestly, we might do the same thing.
Where do I get the Uber to?
Adam, you're so tall, you're not even in shot.
No, you're so short, you're not even good.
He's so cute.
Me, shut my face.
No, don't leave us. We don't like each other, we only like you. Oh no.
You know who's really cute?
Well, this is leaking.
He's really cute. Oh no, what's oh, is it broken?
Adam's made a mess. Did you have a really fun time when we went climbing the other day?
Yeah, because it was just so much better than me.
Yeah, Adam, it's just because you're really long. Adam's like really tall. He just like has to stand up, go on like really low levels, and then he's already reached the top. It doesn't count if you can like scale half the wall just because you're really long. So you're very good at it. Well, I have so much footage of you in this kitchen. I rewatched a vlog quite recently from like 20, I don't know, you must have been like 15 or something, and you're so cute. And you have really floofy hair. And I was like speaking to my camera. I put the camera down somewhere, I was speaking to it, and like in the corner you can see I'm like dancing like this. And like, even though I've obviously edited...
No, I was like pointing to your camera.
No, you were like, yeah, and you were like dancing, being annoying in the background, being like, ta. And I've edited the footage so much, and I've only seen it the first time when I rewatched it a few days ago. I was like, oh no, I missed it.
Still raining?
Yes. Cinema time! My hearing is super selective.
Some more Emma without context. I went to the cinema for the first time in such a long time. We went to see Nomadland. I thought it was good. But I'm surprised now with how much it actually won. 2020 was obviously difficult as a year for film and stuff because so much didn't get made. I don't know how I feel about like that as a season. I think all the next festivals and stuff will have the same vibe, because it's kind of slim pickings. It was a beautiful film, you know, but you shoot everything at sunrise or sunset, you maximize that golden hour, like, yeah, you're gonna have beautiful stuff. It was overhyped, in my opinion, which is tempting. It's still a good movie, and I still encourage you to watch it, because it's a lot in its subtleties. It's not very... When I say that often, I mean that it's not like, look, there's a principle in filmmaking that McKendrick talks about, where he says about the idea of, like, when you write stuff in dialogue, when it, like, doesn't need to be there, or, like, look, Highland cows, instead, why would you say that when you could just point the camera there? So in terms of visual storytelling, that's what I mean when I say that. With that, it's great. Like, it tells the story more with what it's pointing the camera at than what it's talking about in the dialogue. That's what I mean generally when I say it's in its subtleties. But it is very much a story about loss and about grief in its multiple forms. Like, loss and grief is not just when you lose a person, it's when you lose, because the main character, I've forgotten her name, she loses everything, in a sense. She loses her entire community, she loses her entire way of life, she loses, you know, her partner, so she really, really loses so much of who she is and what has told her externally who she is for a long time. So I guess in a way now she has to figure out who she thinks she is, instead of all of these things around her that have always told her who she is. So in terms of, like, a story about loss and grief in its multiple forms, yeah, it's good. It's moving, for sure. But I still think it was overhyped for what it was. You may disagree with me. People have had very strong opinions about this film, you know, as I think, well, maybe that's because I follow a bit too much film Twitter on Letterboxd. My Letterboxd is @sarcasticfish, by the way. It's still a film worth watching, but ultimately I expected more, considering the kind of, like, press and coverage and hype it's had, unfortunately. And then next, I went to see the Tadpoles with my dad.
Oh, it doesn't pick up the tadpoles.
And I would always keep them alive until they were real frogs, and then I would release them again.
So you find little tadpoles and you turn them into frogs.
Yeah.
That's so nice of you. Do you want to take some tadpoles home? We can get a jar for you.
I don't think they would appreciate if I
You steal them. Just borrow
take
them.
one of 50 tadpoles.
I'm just borrowing it, I'll bring it back later.
Yeah, you didn't see them, I saw them. Even more.
I'm gonna wait for you to drop your phone in, and I'll really, really laugh at you. Oh, look, you can see the tadpoles. Oh, look at them. They're like weird little sperms. You see the slug as well?
I need them.
Yeah, look at them. Look at the little guys go. What's the new aroma? Also, they look like little sperms. Oh, are you filming them as well? No way.
Lots of them everywhere, actually.
I'm sure if I expressed interest in it, she would humour that. I thought we were going to go on a walk, and now we are looking at tadpoles. He sent a video of he sent a video of a tadpoles to my mum. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? He's having fun. What is wrong with you? Squirrel.
It's a rat.
Hi, my name's Emma. I couldn't find my laptop. I was looking for it everywhere. Gosh, how difficult. Where could my laptop possibly be? Wait, what is this? Oh. Well, I didn't do this. I'm kind of irritated about this now. And then, surprise, 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 rates of vaccination in London aren't great at the moment, even now. So the government's doing a lot to push that forwards, especially among young people, especially with London having a younger population. So we've done lots of, like, mass vaccination events. And me and my friend went to one. Well, she sorted it all out, and then I was like, can I come? Me and my friend got vaccinated at Stamford Bridge. Pfizer, baby. Closest I've ever got to watching a game of football in my life.
Agility course. Are you excited?
Oh yeah. Are you happy?
I'm very happy.
You didn't even bleed. I bled like a little bit.
Look at that. Look at that.
That's very impressive blood clotting skills. Oh, that's Arsenal. Miller. Hello. Sick. Miller and I obviously have just changed our hinge thing so it says that we're partially vaccinated. And I don't know, my hinge is incredibly attractive all of a sudden. I feel like I'm being rewarded.
We found a few of the same people as well since we're on the bus. Do not put that in the vlog. Do not put that in the vlog. Do not put that in the vlog.
Hello. My siblings have gone out without me on a Saturday night to Soho with no reservation, and it's raining. And I've ordered a burrito and some cheesy chips, so we all know who the real winner is right now. And it's me. Honestly, I think I'm fine. My arm hurts a bit and I'm a bit tired, but I think I was pretty tired anyway. Oh, I'm really looking forward to my burrito. Last week I had like a deep craving. I was like, I need a burrito, but then I didn't have a burrito, but now I've ordered a burrito and I'm so excited. Now we haven't got vaccinated. I'm so excited. And so I've just been like doing more research about like vaccines and stuff because I find it fascinating, and like vaccines are arguably one of the most incredible things that humans have like figured out how to do. mRNA vaccines. I wasn't taught about these at school because they just weren't, they've been in development for a long time and for the last like 20 years, but they've had like more breakthroughs now recently because of all the increased interest and funding in them, of course. That's something I wasn't even taught about at school, and I did biology like what, 5 years ago? It's one of my A-levels. I loved biology. I love science. You know I love biology, you know I love science. I've surrounded myself by cool things, and it's like, wow, this works, and it's amazing, and our bodies are so amazing, it's fantastic. Is that my burrito? Honestly, so gas. This is great. I love science. Oh, and for context, I posted on my Instagram story, and a lot of people were like, are you at Stamford Bridge? Yeah, so London turned a bunch of their really big football stadiums and stuff into vaccination centres. I think they call it like Super Saturday or something, because Super Saturday is trying to tempt the young people. Literally pretty much everyone I know my age has been like, we would like to get vaccinated. I get the impression that there's a lot less skepticism among younger people than there is older people, because we have access to more things that explain things. One of the reasons people don't want to get vaccinated is often distrust in the government and like a lack of that is my burrito. Lack of understanding of how vaccines work. It was my burrito! I tried to pull my hair out to make me look more presentable, but that did not work. People just don't like vaccines because they distrust the government, they distrust how vaccines work because it is something very overwhelming if you have no idea how it works. I'm probably taking for granted a lot of my education, the fact that I'm surrounded by people who are in medicine, science, and also I have like a little bit of background understanding about biology, but there are loads of really good explainer videos. But a lot of people who are anti-vax and stuff, just a reminder, you need to treat these people with empathy. They're not idiots, they are victims of conspiracy theories. The people out there with nefarious intentions are not the global elite who are trying to eugenicize people. Like, it's the plot from Inferno. It is a combination of the plot from Inferno, 1984 and A Brave New World. If you need a reason why you need to read books, let this be one of them. But yeah, the people with nefarious intentions are the people who promote any kind of like not taking vaccinations. These are also people who are writing books on why vaccines cause autism, and you can pay lots of money to take courses from them on how to convince other people not to get vaccinated. These people are monetizing fear and their fear-mongering because it profits them. They're monopolizing people's distrust, fear and misunderstanding, and it is deplorable to the highest degree. Because the people who are putting that at risk are those people, so don't treat them like idiots. You should respect them and you should treat them with empathy because they are victims of the situation. Anyway, I'm really excited for my burrito.
Also, a side note on what I said about like the fear and skepticism among people who choose not to get vaccinated. Remember, these people are actually the victims of this situation. These are the people that are now vulnerable, these are people who are at risk. So just remember that whenever you deal with people who have strong opinions on this, and often know when it's not worth it and when you need to walk away, because some people are unfortunately very entrenched in this, and there's not much you can do, especially not in one sitting. It's the kind of thing that would take, it's like any kind of negotiation really, it would take a lot of time and compassion and empathy to be able to talk someone around on that. So also if you tried to do it and you failed, don't beat yourself up about it. It's just a reminder, and this goes out to absolutely all of you, and I'm no exception, is that the average person thinks that they are too smart to be taken in by a conspiracy theory. That is absolutely not the case. We are all, regardless of your education, regardless of your intelligence, it's got nothing to do with that. Every single one of us is susceptible to one. Some more than others, yeah, but all of us are susceptible to conspiracy theories. For as long as we think that we're above that, it means that if you get taken in by one, you can't conceive of the fact that you would have been taken in by a conspiracy theory. And that's one of the reasons that people choose not to believe that what they believe in is a conspiracy theory. I can't be taken in by a conspiracy theory, which means this definitely isn't one. See where I'm going with this? A lot of the rhetoric you'll see about this is rhetoric. You should pay attention when people talk about conspiracy theories and things like that, because what they use often is very vague language. And when you're being non-specific, it means that people will fill in the gaps, and it can be very scary. Anything vague like that can be very scary. Another thing that people do time and time again is they tell you a completely bogus statistic that they have quite literally pulled out their arse, and then they will say that this statistic isn't available for the general public, which is pretty convenient, isn't it, when they give you a bullshit statistic and then say, but you know, I've had access to this information that you don't. And these people turn themselves into martyrs. They're like, I'm going against the status quo, against everything else. I'm gonna get, you know, crucified for this, but I'm doing it to bring you the truth. They act like saviors and then pretend they're martyrs. It's ridiculous, and the fact that they get away with it is deplorable. Because remember, they're scaring people, they're fear-mongering, and then what do? They monetize that fear. The ads on the podcast, the ads on a video, the book they can sell you about how vaccines cause autism. Like, come on. They make money off this fear. One of the fear-mongering things I've seen a lot with coronavirus is that it causes sterilization. When it comes to vaccine distrust, this is a classic one. This is an absolute classic one, is that the vaccine will sterilize you. This isn't exclusively said about this vaccine, it's said about so many. And it's always they're gonna sterilize your children. It's a eugenics project. This is classic rhetoric. And also, if you look into methods of sterilization, not one of them has anything to do with an injection. Like, I looked into it. You can't sterilize someone by injecting anything in their arm. That's also just not how that works. A lot of people don't necessarily know this, and with that, it's scary. I mean, think about why people immediately say sterilization, because it's an immediately emotional response that you get from someone. In the past, not related to this, you know, I've asked friends, like, what is the scariest thing that could happen? And girlfriends have said, you know, if I couldn't have my own children. So yeah, even the idea of this immediately provokes a reaction in you that's inherently and deeply emotional, and it's driven by fear. And then you get a false economy that you can believe that it would be less risky not to get vaccinated against something, and chance catching it, than it is to knowingly go out and get vaccinated, like knowingly put something into your body that could be dangerous, which is unfortunately a false economy, but there's just, you know, how we perceive risk. But yeah, I guess this is more than anything just a reminder that we've probably all been victims of misinformation in the past, and we're all susceptible to it. None of us are above it in any way or form. When it's anything to do about vaccines and stuff, just treat these people with empathy and compassion. They are the people who are most at risk. I will leave a couple links if you want to read about things to do with vaccine mistrust, because a lot of it, it's almost a classic. Like, it's just, it comes up time and time again. It's always similar things, and a lot of this is to do with levels of education and understanding. Thing is, especially if you're dealing with somebody who is maybe a little bit skeptical, yeah, don't be rude and don't be aggressive. If you do those things, what are you going to do? You're going to push them towards people who are going to treat them better with this kind of information, which are usually people who are even more skeptical than they are, and that's an easy way to get sucked into it. Empathy and compassion, and knowledge, and science, always. That's that, and remember, this is not a moral judgment. And I think it's something we should remove moral judgment from, because it can make it very difficult to then help people who need it, and educate people who need it, because if they feel like they're being seen as the bad guy, why would they want to listen? This isn't a holier than thou moment. We should save that for other things.
Oh my god, Adam, I can't believe you shaved your head.
Yeah, funny.
Wait, no, do you reveal? He didn't, in fact, shave his head off, but it does look like it with the hat on. His complaint is, what is your complaint about your hair? He says floopy.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you said it was floofy.
It's too poppy.
Oh, it's super floofy. Okay,
Because
puffy.
he used a hairdryer and I never used a hairdryer.
Anyway, I slept a total of 11 hours last night. That was great. I feel my arm doesn't hurt. My arm is totally fine. Aside from I'm just a bit tired. I look shit and I've been editing, so I'll epilogue this video tomorrow when I look better. Have you enjoyed your week? That's nice. Okay, I'll see you guys later.
But yeah, there we are. That was this week. The weather was terrible, there was a lot of work, and I got vaccinated. Like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you guys hopefully very, very soon. I'm doing my best. Goodbye.